I'm Emily Iataka, your friend in real estate. Today I'm here with Shane, who is arguably the owner of Three Dog Bakery in Encino on Ventura Boulevard. Thank you for joining me here
Thank you,
today,
Emily.
Shane. I appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
So
you.
you were telling me that you're really an employee of Three Dog Bakery. Now, why would you say that?
Well, my wife and I are the owners.
What's your wife's name?
Her name is Karen.
Okay, and is she like a silent partner kind of a thing? Does she come in and work as well?
She does, yes, ma'am. But she
Okay.
has her own full-time job. She's the
Okay.
head of IT for her company, and
Impressive. Nice.
so she works on weekends and at home at her own home office for the bakery at night.
Okay, okay. Shane, can you tell me a little bit about how you started this business, how it began, what the reasons?
Okay, I was retired out, and my wife and I were on our anniversary up at Lake Arrowhead, and we were walking around. They only really have one kind of shopping area up there. And we were walking around, and we spotted one of these up there.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, well, my first passion is dogs, and then my second passion is cooking. Now, I don't get to do the cooking because those folks over there are primarily handling that now.
Right.
But we went in and met with the owner of that one, and we talked to her for a little while. Then we went home, did our due diligence, and as things progressed, we started realizing, this might be becoming more and more serious. So then we had to really sit down and go, how committed? And because once you go in, you're in. And here we are 7 years later.
So how did it come that you decided to place your business here in Encino on Ventura Boulevard?
2 doors down is a dog groomer, Bubbles. And then, of course, on the other side of us on the left here, we have Coffee Bean. So there's just an ongoing flow of traffic going in there all day long.
Right.
So we're right in the middle of the two of them.
Yeah, that is actually great because yesterday when I was here, I came in yesterday to just take a look around. And was my first time here, and I was so glad to have popped in. And I realized how hungry I was while I was here because it smells delicious, like I would want to buy something to eat it myself and have a cup of coffee probably. And so yeah, as far as that location here being in the center of those two bookends, it is kind of perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
And yesterday when I popped in, also someone was here and she brought her puppy in, which was really like already a 60-pound dog. And she had just come back from Lake Balboa Park for a walk with him and wanted to get him some snacks. So do you get a lot of customers that have been hiking, that have just been using the recreational space in the area prior to coming in and visiting?
Yes, ma'am. We get quite a bit from that. And plus, we actually utilize Balboa Park for our Easter bag hunt. There will be an Easter bunny out there. I think last year my wife and I stuffed somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 plastic Easter eggs. We cordoned off a portion of the park next to the lake, and we let the dogs and their owners go out on an Easter egg hunt.
That is an undertaking. Well, that's pretty great. Do you do any other events in the neighborhood?
Well, not in that neighborhood. What we do is we do a Growloween event right behind our business here.
A Growloween.
Growloween,
And
yes,
that's
ma'am.
behind this,
The bakery,
behind
yes,
the
ma'am.
bakery in
Our
the
neighbor,
parking area.
yeah, our neighbor,
Okay.
thankfully, next door has a huge parking lot, and they've been nice enough to let us utilize that
Okay,
for that
that's
one day.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and then we used to do pictures with Santa here, but we started going with pictures with the Grinch, which people seem to have really, they responded very well to
Oh, I
it.
would think
Well,
so.
Santa kind of didn't feel real Santa-y after it was all done. So the Grinch
Right.
seemed a little more appropriate. And I think that's what we're going to stay with now.
I think that's brilliant.
So
What's the name of the Grinch's dog? Do you remember? That dressed up like a
you got me on that
reindeer.
one.
We're gonna splice that in here.
Yeah, that
Does
would.
anybody dress their dogs up like the
Oh,
reindeer?
absolutely. Yeah, Christmas isn't quite as much as the Growloween
Okay.
because there is a costume contest for Growloween. But yes, we've had the one. What do we call those things again?
Antlers.
Antler. Thank
Antlers,
you.
right?
The antler.
Yes.
Yes, we've had that before.
Okay. And do people have to sign up in advance to attend the Growloween event or the
We would
Photos with the
prefer that
Grinch?
they do that, but we allow walk-ups as well.
Okay,
So,
okay.
because on the Halloween event, we don't charge anything for that. That's just free, and we've got vendors from the neighborhood that come. Um, Now, for the I also should mention for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we do something called our Beast Feast. My wife and I bake turkeys, and the turkeys, the ingredient on it is turkey, nothing else. We get it just no preservatives, no salt, no brines or anything like that. We cook turkeys, we cook sweet potatoes, green beans, and then we do one small pup cake out of our pastry case here. And we put it in a box, and it's called the Beast Feast. And we do that for Thanksgiving, and we also do them for Christmas.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
those are very popular, but a lot of turkeys get cooked that
Right.
month.
Wow, that's incredible. So, as far as the events where people bring their dogs here, are the dogs all on their best behavior?
We ask that everybody has their dog on a leash. So if sometimes one gets a little sideways with another, but that rarely ever happens. Most of the dogs that come through here are pretty familiar with other dogs, and they're that's not really been much of an issue for us. But
Right.
it does happen every so often. Dogs get cranky like
Yep.
people,
Yep.
and so by having them on a leash, we can eliminate that situation very
Right.
quickly.
Yes. I find that with my own dogs, they're pretty territorial in my neighborhood or at my house, although they've made some friends. But when I take them to a place where there are many dogs, it's not their territory. They are on their best behavior. So I assume that happens with a lot of dogs.
It can,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
again, we you would think that you would run into it a lot more often, but it's interesting. In 7 years, I can probably name on my one hand how many times we've had that.
Okay.
Most owners are pretty cognizant of their dog being a dog that might have a potential to causing trouble, and they will get in front of that.
Right.
So
Right.
not all,
Yeah.
but most.
Okay. Well, good. Well, good. Awesome. Fantastic. So, what are some things that you enjoy about being located here in this space, other than the foot traffic that you do and the car traffic? What else is there about this location that you've grown to love over the last 7 years?
Well, I mean, outside of, again, the two neighbors I pointed out, we've got an excellent relationship with, well, all of our neighbors. We have an empty space right to our left. Um, uh, Outside of that, the neighborhood's just a very good quality neighborhood. I mean, we're in Encino, so we don't run into a lot of external issues. I'll just leave it at that. Um, and It's been a very, very friendly neighborhood, but mostly it's just having these great neighbors of ours because they
Right.
bring business through here.
Yes.
But there's also lots of resources. We have a Target down the street, so if the bakery needs something, we can just walk right down there and get what we need. Michael's for what we do, baking,
Oh,
is
right.
right there across the street. I mean,
Right.
what a valuable resource that is for cookie cutters or boxes or whatever it might be
Right.
that we need quickly.
Right.
You know.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about, or everyone here watching, anything about your products here? Because you do have a lot of packaged goods, but you also have the bakery. And I think people probably don't know all that you have in here unless they come in.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're never going to be a Petco or PetSmart. Our footprint's pretty small. We're definitely a boutique, but we do have a wide range of other items. We've got dog food, treats, packaged treats, leashes, collars. Um, so we've got a wide range of other items. Toys, we've got a lot of toys, rawhides.
Okay.
So, it's not just a bakery.
Right. But I mean, the baked goods are pretty spectacular
Oh,
looking. They're gorgeous.
our head baker, who's back over our shoulder right now, is beyond talented. Griselda, we are very fortunate to have her because the quality that that's the one thing that, you can bake a dog treat, but the quality and the appearance of it is a whole different category.
Right.
And that girl has been she came in to work with us as a part-timer, and now she's self-taught herself on all of this. And the quality, you can go to Porto's for humans, or you can come here for your dogs, and you're going to see that the quality is about the same as
Wow.
far as the eye appeal on it.
Okay. Yeah, this really is beautiful. And Yeah, with so many dogs and dog lovers in the area, I would say this is a necessary business here.
We would think so.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I can tell that you really enjoy being a part of this community. Can you
Absolutely.
tell us how you serve the area as well?
We've got, uh, we try not to do too many charities because we wouldn't be doing any one of them a favor if we're doing a bunch of them.
Right.
So the three that we primarily focus on is Miranda's People. They are an organization that, let's say, a family is a bit down on their luck, and they have a four-legged loved one that requires some medical attention, and it may or may not be financially viable for them. Well, we don't want that family to have to make bad decisions. So what they can do is go to Miranda's People and apply to them. And they have a whole network of doctors that provide care either for free or at cost. And the same thing with the medicines and what have you to help that family out.
Okay.
Our other one, then this is my passion one, is Shelter to Soldier. And as long as my wife and I are still owners of this business, that will always be our charity. What you do is, or they do, excuse me, is they rescue a dog, and due to whether the veterans issue is more of a physical one or maybe more of a situation like this, they train the dog and then they match it to the correct veteran for what the need is.
Oh,
And again, as long as we are the title owners of this business, that will always be my charity.
that's
And then
wonderful.
the third is we do a food drive we have a contest, and whoever wins the contest, we donate. I think last time we did it was about 500 pounds of dog food to that shelter
That's wonderful.
or rescue. It can be a rescue, a shelter, what have
Okay,
you.
okay, that's great. I'm glad that you shared that. Thank you. That's good information for everybody to know.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much,
Yes,
Shane. I
ma'am, and
really
thank you,
appreciate your
Emily.
time.
Very nice to have met you.
Likewise, likewise.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed.